us to forgive, O Lord, as you have us forgiven. Make every chain heal every heart, and make us signs of your mercy and love.
Welcome to the program of the World Forgiveness Day. As we know, every July 7th, we celebrate the World Forgiveness Day. I am Father James Okolie, founder of With Forgiveness Mission, a mission dedicated to promoting the culture of forgiveness, reconciliation, healing and peace in our families, in our communities, in our workplaces, and in our society. I'm delighted to be here with my companion, Elizabeth, today, and together with other companions in this mission, we are committed to helping people discover the freedom and healing that forgiveness brings. Can you greet our listener, Elizabeth?
Good morning, our wonderful listener. As it stands today, being the Global World Forgiveness Day, we are here on behalf of World Forgiveness Day. When we look around our world today, we see so many people carrying deep hurts, resentment, bitterness, and anger. We witness conflicts in families, divisions among friends, violence in communities, and even wars between nations. Hatred has robbed many people of their inner peace and has become one of the greatest enemies of our world. It destroys relationships, breaks families, and leaves many people living with wounds that never seem to heal. That is why World Forgiveness Day is so important. It reminds us that forgiveness has the power to heal wounded hearts, restore broken relationships, and bring back the peace that hatred has stolen. Today invites us to forgive those who have hurt us, to seek reconciliation with God, and also to have the humility to ask forgiveness from those who may have hurt.
Our prayer and hope today are very simple, that every listener will take at least one step towards forgiveness. If even one person listening today finds the courage to forgive, to seek forgiveness, or to begin a journey of healing, then our time together will have been truly worthwhile. So you want to know what exactly World Forgiveness Day means? World Forgiveness Day traces its origin to the Christian Embassy of Christ Ambassadors in Canada. It began in 1994 as National Forgiveness Day, and over time, its message spread across the world and it became widely observed. Its message spread across the world until it became widely observed as World Forgiveness Day. From a biblical perspective, it reminds us of the Jubilee year described in the book of Leviticus chapter 25, celebrated every 50 years. That is, 7 cycles of sabbatical year, which is 49 years. When God called his people to freedom from debts, from slavery, from burdens that had weighed them down. So, if you have been in slavery, at the Jubilee year, you are left free. Or if you have been in debt, in the Jubilee year, you are left free. So today, the World Forgiveness Day invites us to be free from the burdens we carry within, the burdens of guilt from the wrongs we have done, and the burdens of resentment from those who have hurt us.
It is a global reminder that forgiveness is the pathway to healing, freedom, and peace.
It's good that we understand what forgiveness truly means and what it is not, so as to help us observe this World Forgiveness Day better. Note that forgiveness is not pretending that nothing happened. It is not denying our pain. It is not abandoning justice or saying that wrongdoings have no consequence. It is not weakness, and it does not always mean immediate reconciliation or returning to an unhealthy relationship. Neither does it mean we must wait until the other person apologizes before we begin to forgive. Forgiveness is first of all a decision. I often define forgiveness as freedom out of resentment and guilt into vicious expression or experience. So forgiveness is setting yourself free, and that freedom is a decision you make by yourself. It is a gift you first give to yourself to free your heart from prison of bitterness. We may not forget what's happened, but we no longer allow it to control our lives. In the end, forgiveness is a courageous act, is a courageous choice, a choice for healing, for peace, and for building a better world, one relationship at a time. So it's not a sign of weakness, but a sign of the strong. When we choose forgiveness, we not only change our relationship, we are changing our own life. First of all, there are spiritual benefits. Forgiveness opens our hearts to receive God's mercy, because Jesus himself taught us, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So when you forgive, you are now open to receive God's own forgiveness. And forgiveness helps you to pray better, because it's only when you forgive that you have opened the door for God to receive your own prayer.
There are also social benefits. Forgiveness restores trust where possible, heals broken relationships, strengthens families, builds peaceful communities, and reduces cycles of conflicts and retaliations. A forgiving person becomes an instrument of peace wherever he or she goes. Then there are medical and emotional benefits. Research has constantly shown that forgiveness can reduce stress, anxiety, anger, and emotional exhaustion. People who forgive often sleep better, experience lower level of stress, and enjoy better overall health because they are no longer carrying the heavy burden of bitterness. Psychologically, forgiveness brings inner freedom. It helps us let go of the past, regains emotional balance, increase resilience, and move forward with hope instead of remaining trapped in painful memories.
But the opposite is also true. When we refuse to forgive, we gradually lose our inner peace. Bitterness becomes a burden that weighs us down. Anger and resentment begin to poison our hearts, our relationship, and sometimes even our health. When we choose revenge instead of forgiveness, we often multiply the pain instead of ending it. Revenge may satisfy us for a moment, but forgiveness heals for a lifetime. Is there any advantage of unforgiveness? No. It's just temporal satisfaction which eventually kills us or which eventually destroys us. That is why forgiveness is not simply a beautiful idea. It is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, our families, and our world. Perhaps someone listening is saying, Father, everything you have said sounds beautiful, but you don't know what happened to me. And you are right. Forgiveness is not easy. Some wounds are very deep. Some have been betrayed by a husband, wife, or close friend. Some have been abandoned by the very person they trusted the most. Some have been cheated in business or denied their rightful inheritance. Others have suffered broken promises, unpaid debts, false accusations, abuse, violence, or even the painful loss of a loved one through murder or injustice. There are also those carrying spiritual wounds. Some believe they have sinned so much that God could never forgive them. Others long to ask forgiveness from someone they have hurt, but are afraid they will be rejected. These are real struggles, and we must never pretend they are small. But this is where our hope begins. God never asks us to carry these burdens alone. He says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest." He also tells us, "Cast all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you." The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and heals those whose hearts have been wounded. Nothing is too painful for his mercy.
Forgiveness does not mean pretending the wound never existed. It means bringing that wound to God and allowing his grace to begin the healing. Sometimes healing is immediate, often is a journey, but every journey begins with one courageous step. So if you are carrying resentment, guilt, shame, or despair today, do not lose hope. Bring your pain to God in prayer. Let his word strengthen you. Ask him for the grace to forgive or for the humility to seek forgiveness. What seems impossible by our own strength becomes possible with God's forgiveness or with God's grace.
No wound is greater than God's mercy, and no heart is beyond his power to heal. Someone may be asking, "Father, where do I begin?" The journey of forgiveness begins with one simple but courageous step. Make the decision. Decide today that you want to forgive. Or if you have hurt someone, decide that you will seek forgiveness. If you have drifted away from God, decide to return to him. Forgiveness begins with a choice long before it becomes a feeling. It also helps to say that decision aloud. It's not always something you have to say in your heart. You have to speak it out. You can say something like, "Lord, today I choose to forgive." Or, "Lord, give me the courage to ask for forgiveness." Even if your emotions are still struggling, your decision opens the door for God's grace to work. So after saying it aloud to yourself, the next step is prayer. Because you can't do it alone, it is by the grace of God. So hand the whole situation over to God. Tell him about your pain, your anger, your disappointments, or your guilt. Ask him to heal your heart and give you the strength to do what seems impossible.
Then begin to pray for the person involved. This may be the hardest step, but it is also one of the most healing. As you pray, God gradually softens your heart. If possible, perform an act of charity or kindness. It may be directly to the person or indirectly through someone else. Some acts of love help transform the heart. Finally, remember that forgiveness is often a journey, not just a moment. Some wounds heal quickly, others require patience and perseverance. Do not give up if painful memories return. Each day, renew your decision. Keep praying, keep choosing peace. With God's grace, your heart will become free and stronger again.
That is why none of us should walk this journey alone. We all need encouragement, formation, and a community that helps us grow in forgiveness every day. That is the mission we are trying to build through With Forgiveness Mission and With Forgiveness Media. I want to leave you with this thought. Every important skill in life requires training. We train to become better professionals, better parents, better leaders, and even better athletes. In the same way, forgiveness is a virtue that grows with patience, that grows with practice. We become better at forgiving by learning, praying, and exercising it every day. That is why we founded Forgiveness Mission and With Forgiveness Media to accompany people on this journey. Forgiveness is not a journey anyone has to walk alone. We all need encouragement, guidance, and practical ways to grow.
Through With Forgiveness Media, we share reflections on real-life situations people face in forgiveness, theological teachings that deepen our understanding, live seminars and discussions, and interactive quizzes that clear up common misconceptions about forgiveness. We also invite people to share their personal stories, because someone else's journey of healing can become a source of hope for another person. One of our special projects is our song, Teach Us to Forgive, now available on YouTube and coming to all streaming platforms. It is a prayer asking God to teach us how to forgive as He forgives. We even encourage people to make forgiveness part of their daily routine through simple reminders such as our With Forgiveness soap, which carries a message of hope and invites reflections. Even during ordinary activities like washing or cleaning, the vision is simple: to make forgiveness not just an occasional event, but a daily way of life. We invite you to join us today on our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all under the name With Forgiveness Media, because today is World Forgiveness Day. We have prepared inspiring content throughout the day to help you reflect, pray, and take practical steps towards healing.
If you would like to share your story, seek guidance, invite us for a program, or discuss challenges in your family, relationship, community, or personal life, you can reach us through this line 0807 847 5127, 0807 847 5127, or through our email withforgivenessmedia@gmail.com. As we celebrate World Forgiveness Day, let today be more than just another day on the calendar. Let it be the day you make one decision. The decision to forgive, to seek forgiveness, and to begin living in peace. That is God's desire for us. That is how hearts are healed, relationships are restored, and our world become a better place. On behalf of the With Forgiveness Mission,
I'm still Elizabeth Udeh.
Thank you, my dear listener, and thank you for staying with us till this moment. But as we said, you have to join us with Forgiveness Media platform to continue this journey towards forgiveness. I'm still Father James. Thank you, and may God bless you.